All right, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Carson City Visitors Bureau Board of Directors regular meeting for November 4th, 2015 at 4 o'clock. I'm calling to order the meeting. Can we have roll call?
Yes, Renee Plain. Present. Jesse Dahme. Here. Jonathan Boulware. Here. Stan Jones. Present. Karen Aboud. Present. We have a quorum.
I make a motion we approve the agenda.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. All right, thank you. Motion passes. For possible action, approval of minutes from October 12, 2015 board meeting.
I move to approve the meeting minutes of October 12, 2015 as published.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? All right, motion passes. Thank you. For possible action, approval of the adjusted fiscal year 2016 budget report.
Thank you. In your packet, you will find the 2015-16 fiscal year master budget report. This will be reporting at 25% of fiscal year 16 lapsed. Going on the first page, if you're going down to the bottom, you can see revenues are at 53.8%. Projected revenue, total expendable revenue of 2.5. Halfway down the page, room tax revenue at 1.549. We're at 23.8%. Now, once again, that's reporting a month behind, so that's we have an additional month we'll add to that, so we'll certainly be over the 25% lapse. So we're well on task of being above our projected revenues again this year. Not seeing any variance from that. Going down, there was a couple of things that I did want to go over. You've got the gift store at 66.8% of total revenues. We did touch on that last month. That's based on the fact that we are offering ticket sales for all of the events. So we do have a lot more revenue coming into the gift store, which then also goes out as an expendable. We pay back all of those events. We absorb the cost to get people to come into the store for the events. So that's why we're above at 66.8%. For gift store. Going down, we actually have the first time I've seen negatives. You can see the interest income. And checking with the city, we actually had a loss on investments for both August and September. So it looks like collectively we lost about $90 in our interest income. That's the first time that's happened in, I think, the year and a half. So just one note on it. It's still at 23.8% total there. Bottom line, expendable revenue at 53.8%. Any questions on revenue? Okay. Second page, looking at the top is all of the payments out for the interlocal agreement, field maintenance, the payment to Nevada Commission on Tourism, Travel Nevada, and both of the funds for the Capital Project Fund for the VNT and the VNT Capital Project Fund. The only actual year-to-date, fiscal year-to-date that we've paid is the $75,000. That's not a payment towards the two bonds. That's a payment that goes to the city for their shortfall on the gas tax bond. So, and that's the agreement years ago was made. We would fund the city $100,000. They were short a little over $71,000 this year and requested the payment. So we did make the payment of $75,000 to the city. Going down the page, we got expenses now for administration, the salaries at 25% of the year. We're coming in at 22.3, so we're below the lapse time of the year for our salaries and benefits. Any questions on page 2? Page 3, getting into professional services, coming in at 13.8%. No red flags there. Everything's below the lapse time. Continuing down 15.3% for property services. We do have one flag that's above the year lapsed at 27.5% for insurance, but as you know, that's a one, we pay that up front for the quarter. So that's why that'll reflect even next year. Actually, next month will be down. But bottom line for other services, which include payments to special events, insurance, printing and advertisement, trade shows, golf, dues, memberships, bus passes, and lodging, we're only at 6.2%. Bottom line on operating supplies. Office supplies, we're at 32.8%. That's an upfront cost for the fiscal year also. Then going down to store inventory, once again, we're at 88.8% of the year lapsed, but that is all upfront costs for the store. In addition, I think there was tickets, purchasing tickets. So you've got some expenses there, and that would be the payable to the events. That shows up as an expense that wasn't originally. And we will reflect those changes that we've done in the operation of the gift store with the ticket sales when we do the augmentation later in the year. Down the bottom, utilities. We're up just a little bit on our power at 27.7, but we're still bottom line at 19.2%. Total expenses for services and supplies at 25% year lapse, we're coming in at 15.1%. So the back page is just the worksheet for the Department of Taxation and reflecting potential carryovers. So, and those will go over when we do the audit next month, and also when we do the augmentation is where that page comes into play. Okay. Any questions on the monthly report?
Joel, on page 5 of 5, why do we have the contingency of 20,000? Have we ever used it, or we just put it in there?
Yeah, the $20,000 contingency is by the statute for audit. It's been in ever since. And my understanding is that with the Department of Taxation, we have to have the $20,000 contingency carryover every year. And I'll double check on that, but that's my account of the 20,000 contingency. As far as I can go back within the 10 years of records I have, they've always had the 20,000 contingency built in.
All right, any other questions from the board? Questions from the audience about the budget? You got something, Stan? No. Okay. Do a motion.
I move to approve the adjusted fiscal year budget report as presented through September 30th, 2015.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? All right, motion passes. Thank you. Possible action approval for ratification of monthly bills for September 2015.
Okay, once again, in your packet, agenda item 8, approval for ratification of monthly bills September. You'll find on page 2 of 4, listing as 2 of 4, top line, the $3,789 will reflect page 3, which is the credit card purchases. Going down the list, a couple that will call out, the $1,500 we've got for grant and event photography and content writing, a contractual agreement. Everything else is just business. Going down, we have an $800 contractual payment for the contractor regarding website SEO and search engine optimization. We've got, let's see, Motown lecture and speakeasy swing dance tickets. There you can see those payments that we make out for the ticket sales, and those will always be reflective in the itemized spending. Continuing down, $6,938.85 went to Nevada Commission on Tourism, representing 3/8% of the room tax coming in for September. Yes.
This one was the rent, not credit cards. There's no credit card payment.
Oh, there's no credit card payment?
It came on the next month.
Okay.
That's where it fell.
I'm corrected. Actually, the $3,789 is the rent on that top one. The credit cards are listed on page 4. They're not listed on this.
It'll be on the next one because it was the payment date that the city
Oh,
made.
okay. The payment date the city made on it, it'll be reflected. Like last month, we had 2 months on the first page. We'll have 2 months on the second one. Continuing down, you've got the last one, you've purchase of brochure and poster paper for a little over $1,000, and then the Reno.com TV spot that Kyle talked about last month, we did a payment of $2,000. So a total of $19,739.16. Continuing on page 3, going down, I think the first one that calls out is the $2,000. We did purchase, as part of the Boys and Girls Club fundraiser, an opportunity to be on their buses. So we're advertising on the back of the bus. I think it was a great opportunity for us not only to be able to spend the money locally, but to be able to do it in a manner of complete exposure. And it's going to be about downloading the app is the ad work. And we're working with the sign company that is contracted out through the Boys and Girls Club. Continuing down, we've got the payment for the Blue Bridge for mobile app payment, and the rest of them are all just low dollar business as usual. Next page. Going down, you've got printer rental of $1843.77, and the last one, the East to West embroiderer, that's another one over $500, coming in at $829.29. And that is for the lapel pins, the Carson City pins that we're now selling at the store. And that's a local company that we were working with to acquire those. So that being said, the rest of them are under 500 and all just business as usual if there's no questions.
I do have a question.
Okay.
On page 2, search engine optimization, is it a fixed $800 a month, or does it change?
Yeah, it actually has changed monthly. The contract is $600, and depending on additional website maintenance or the last couple of months we've been working with Kathleen Hood to do some of the links. There was some problems with some of the backlinks not working coming into the site. I can tell you that we've agreed with Kathleen Hood to move in a different direction. Right now we're at the top of all of those search engines, and there's some new tools that we'll utilize that will save us quite a bit of money moving forward. We'll still work with her just on the SEO side, but there will not be any type of a monthly agreement. It'll just be on an on-call basis. But yeah, it was $600 was the original throughout last year to acquire the SEO, and then the additional $200 or $300 sometimes in a couple of months were some website maintenance.
Just because we are talking about the topic, do we get any information how many people have downloaded our app? I have not, in your monthly report, I have not seen it or maybe missed it.
Yeah, in fact, we actually pull off all of the analytics weekly, and I will start including it in my executive report. I think it's great information. We'll also, now that we're managing the website completely internally, we'll go ahead and pull off all of the analytics off the website and start reporting that also. I know we did it in the past. I think we did it basically showing the immediate progression we saw with the changes. We know that we've continued in that manner, but yeah, we'll bring it back. I think it's a great idea. Okay.
Do we have panic buttons installed in the facility now?
Yes, we did. Yeah, we have, I believe there's 2 installed, one at a central location in the front and one near the rear exit. Yeah.
The $6 is the monthly fee?
That's probably prorated from the monthly billing because we didn't have it the whole month.
Oh, okay.
The panic buttons just throw people off, right? That's not the real locations, right?
No, they're
You wouldn't
yeah.
share that. That's just, you just threw everybody off with that.
Oh, yeah, it's not behind the bike in the front of the
He always
building.
does smart things like that. All right, any other questions for the bills? Any questions from the audience about the monthly bills? All right.
I move to approve the ratification of the CCVB monthly bills for September 2015.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Non-action items. Executive Director's Report. You're up, Joel.
Okay. In your packet, you will have the breakout of transient lodging report for August 2015. There's a couple of changes. I think each one of the months we found that pulling off a consistent report in regard to a occupancy change between the years has been difficult. Moving forward, we'll be able to do a comparison between current fiscal year and next fiscal year without an issue. But going down, if you look at the August 15th trailing 12, coming in at just a little over 15.4 million. That's up 8.22% from 2014, coming in at 14.23. Year-to-date room revenue, we're just shy of 11 million at 10,889,000, and that's an increase of 8.15% over last year's year-to-date, coming in at just over 10 million. Room tax revenue for the top 5 properties came in at 3.1% above 2014. That's an increase of $33,915, coming in at 1.137 million. Top 13 properties was up 1.4%, coming in at 1.7, up from 1.69 the year before. The RVs were up 20%, coming in $7,699 above 2014 at $46,237.10. The remaining properties not included in top 13 or RVs actually had a decrease, and this is one of those, again, where we're seeing these numbers being fairly consistent because we're tracking the total loss of rooms in these properties to those 28-day plus. But they were down 49.1%, losing $36,000 and dropping from $73,000 to $37,000 for 2015. Bottom line is we came in for total room tax revenues at just shy of 1.8 million at 1.798. That's actually just flatline, just down 0.28% from last year at 1.8 million. So, yes.
I don't understand, when we're talking about remaining, 2014 we had 73.5, and to date this year we had 37.4. What's going on? Those places are full.
Yeah, correct.
Are they not reporting or what?
No, what I'm saying is in the numbers of the total number of rooms lost per month to the 28-day plus rentals, we've had a few properties that have gone the route of doing 28-day plus rentals rather than doing transient occupancy tax. And when you have a facility or two doing that, that's a serious loss of revenue and a loss of total rooms. That's the only explanation for the total loss of revenue, because they are full. Their occupancy's there. You look at the average daily rate for those properties, they've stayed fairly consistent also. There's the fact that the revenues have dropped. Continuing on to average daily rate, you can see the average daily rate is up just over $7 for the top 5 properties, coming in at $95.50. Average daily rate for top 13 properties was up $4.61, coming in at $78.17. Average daily rate for the RVs was up $2.80, coming in at $35.62. And the average for the remaining, the average that we're paying came in at $23.62, $1.90 above the average at $21.72. So it's completely a loss of rooms being used for transient occupancy tax.
Joel,
Yeah.
I have a suggestion for this page. Good information, but we are tracking everything year over year by percentage basis, and average daily rate is we are tracking it by dollar amount. I think we should do that also with the percentage, because then we can really see if our growth is coming from the occupancy or the rate side, because it looks like it's all coming from the rate. And the other thing I noticed is that we were already discussing the first 2 quarters. The top 13 were ahead of the top 5 in terms of rate. So it looks like as soon as the legislature ended, the top 5 have raised their rates and the others haven't. So because it was higher for the other 8 in the first 5 months.
Exactly, and I think, what we'll measure is the mid-level properties are those that are going to give us the opportunity to increase our per diem rates, and they have to keep those daily rates up. And if they keep the daily rates up, we're going to see the per diem continue to increase. So, yeah, we would prefer to see those top 13 properties, mid-level properties, staying above and continuing to increase that average daily rate.
And I want your opinion on this, because some hotels you're saying are doing strictly 28 days. So it means they are displacing some of the nightlies to other hotels. But our top 13 rate is $50 higher than those, 28 days. So it's actually good for you or good for us, that we are actually making $5 extra per night in terms of tax when they move from those $22, $23 average rate hotels. But I don't know what their daily rate will be, because this looks like is their 28-day rate.
Yeah, correct.
But it'll be still way less than 72.
It would be. My only concern with that, though, is we have quite a few weekends now with either sports tournaments or special events that we know that we are filling up all of our rooms. And if we see leakage out of the community because some of those rooms are not available, that could affect us on those major weekends. But no, yeah, I could see the benefit from some of the displaced visitors having to spend significantly more in average daily rate, but I don't think it's going to be a whole lot more. Continuing on page 2, total available rooms for the top 5 properties in August was 15,550. Occupied was 11,913. Occupancy rate 77.4%. That's up from 52.1% the year before. Top 13 properties had 34,581 rooms available, of which 21,939 were occupied, for a 67.5% occupancy rate. RVs had 5,373 available spaces, of which 1,298 were occupied, for an occupancy of 26.7%. The remaining properties, there was 6,189 rooms available, of which 1,585 were rented, for an occupancy rate of 24.3%. The 28 days, you can see the 28 days just in August, we lost 18,384 room nights. Bottom line, not including, so you would, top 13 and RVs, which includes the top 5 remaining properties. Available rooms, 44,531, of which 24,096 were occupied with 54.11% occupancy rate. Year-to-date room revenue, this would be, I did change. I've been doing monthlies, and I was really having a difficult time getting any consistent numbers from the region. And I think some of those are the fact that the bureaus themselves, we are the only bureau I know that collects its own room tax and reports its own room tax. Normally you see the county doing that for the bureaus. With that, I went ahead and the number that I know I can have consistently and I know is accurate is the revenue that's reported, because the revenue is reported Department of Taxation. So I went back and I've changed this now to reflect year-to-date revenues from the region. If you look at year-to-date revenues, we're up 8.1%, coming in once again at $10,889,479 year-to-date. Reno is up 4.6%, coming in at $83,670,000. Douglas County, the Valley, and this is where the numbers really help, because I know that there was question, because properties in Douglas County were saying they were having a good year, but the occupancy report in comparison to revenue reports from the county weren't jiving with the properties, but they're actually reflecting, just like us, an 8.2% increase, coming in at $6,281,000. That's up from 5.8 last year to date. Douglas County, Tahoe is up 1.1%, coming in at $34,309,638. And Virginia City is year-to-date down 7.9%, coming in at just a little over $51,000, at $51,348.26. Once again, one of the differences when you look at Virginia City, though, is Virginia City is one of those Visitors Bureau that's also funded by the sales tax. They get a 0.25% sales tax. because of the amount of daytime spending associated with visitors coming into Virginia City, which I think with all of the industry that's happening in Story County, they're certainly going to benefit greatly and be able to really market that community in the future. So all of the backup is attached. If there's any questions on the occupancy lodging reports. Okay. Well, a couple of the additional reports. I want to say that Nevada Day weekend, I think, was tremendously successful. We did partake in the parade and a lot of the ancillary activities, and all in all, I think it was, as good as any Nevada Day that I've been a part of. I think that they continue to change and add activities, and I think they're doing a great job. I would say the attendance was outstanding. I know that years ago I did a head count utilizing recreation staff for the Nevada Day, I want to say about 8 years ago, and the first year we had just shy of 13,700 at the Nevada Day Parade. The second year there was a little over 16,000. And I can tell you, my recollection is that this crowd was certainly bigger than that. So I think the numbers are showing. And looking at properties, I've had quite a few calls. A couple of the bands were looking for rooms, and they had a difficult time finding any rooms in Carson City. So I think it was great for everyone this weekend. The introduction of the Business Alliance Network has gone over very well. I've had an opportunity to meet with all of the business associations, and with the exception of the Chamber of Commerce, all of them have decided to buy in and feel that there's a lot of benefits, not only for their businesses that will have an effect on visitor experience, but also for their businesses that just need the training when it comes to website design and social media and SEO. So I believe that we're currently somewhere a little over 150 businesses that will be participating. We did extend an opportunity for the members of the Reno Tahoe Territory, which is the collective board that kind of oversees some of the stuff that we do with the businesses within the Reno Tahoe Territory, and we're extending the opportunity for anyone that would like to be a part of the training also. Kyle and I will work on creating the training to start in January and February. And that will start, obviously, for the most benefit for us, we'll be starting with a social media symposium so we can get all of the local businesses on tap with social media and starting to create content for us. But the meetings have gone outstanding. So, and I believe that we're going to continue to see more businesses as the word gets out about the benefit provided by the Business Alliance Network. We did book the Rockabilly Riot. It's now the Carson Tahoe Reno Rockabilly Riot. The car show that has traditionally been in Reno, I think, has averaged about 800 cars, and they'll be coming into Carson City the second weekend in June. They're going to be hosting their event at Mills Park, utilizing the Pony Express Pavilion, all of Mills Park, and this building.
Joe, actually, I think it's the last weekend.
Oh,
in
okay,
June.
last weekend.
Just
Thank you.
correction.
I sat down and met with them yesterday, and I think they're continuing to work around the community, meeting with lodging properties and businesses. So a major turnkey event that we were able to bring into the community, and they've been great to work with. Been working with them now for a few months, building up to the announcement that will come this week. Epic Rides, the suggested changes to the contract that was presented from Epic Rides from their legal counsel to Carson City has been sent back to Epic Rides, and they're working through that now. I think that I didn't see any issues. There certainly was nothing that I had concerns with. I am currently working with our legal counsel to look at our room tax policies and procedures. We will be meeting with all of the properties again December 10th, and at that time I want to make sure that we go over any potential changes that we have in the policies and procedures, making sure everyone understands what they're required to pay, when they're required to pay it, and the documentation they need behind those payments also. So that'll be coming December 10th. Outside of that, things have been going great. We're busy as can be. We've got quite a few shows coming up, and we'll have Willie out marketing at some major shows. I think my next one, I'm actually going to be down at the Los Angeles Travel and Trade Show with Nevada Commission on Tourism, so I look forward to that. That being said, I'll go ahead and turn it over to Kyle. I know he's got...
Joel,
Yes.
what's the status on the audit?
The audit is complete, and they will be coming back at our December meeting. Looking over the findings, I'm happy to say I don't think there's any concern when the audit comes in. There was that transition between the city transferring everything over between our QuickBooks, so this one took a little bit longer, but it seemed to flow pretty well. I don't think there was a single issue that we had as a department. So, and I didn't see any findings that was concerning to me. So, but that'll come back at our next meeting in December.
All right. Cool. Just a few things. I'm going to elaborate on BAN a little bit. The first cooperative marketing opportunity has happened, or at least it's been extended out to all the members, which is the advertising with Travel Nevada, the Nevada Graham, in addition to the Shop Carson City holiday flyer that he's putting out. So we've had over 20 businesses sign in on that one. And in the meantime, we've also worked out a deal with Resort Mountain Television to have a Shop Carson City television commercial that's going to run from Thanksgiving through the New Year, and the start of November through Christmas, and then they're going to be offering cooperative television commercial discounts to all the band members. So that'll be the second cooperative marketing opportunity through band. The ski packages, now that the mountains have released their rates for the hotels, the ski packages are going to be up before the end of the month, which is good. So we've got most of the properties have sent back their rates, and so with the properties, the lift tickets, the meal, and all the shopping discounts, we feel we're going to have, again, the best deal, in the area for ski packages. We've been working on the Blue Line Trail. James has been working really hard on the Blue Line Trail, so kind of bringing it up to speed. We found a lot of discrepancies between the map, the numbers, the houses, the information. So James has kind of gone through and he's added a whole bunch of content for each house. We've got the numbers back in alignment for the way that it's suggested to walk the Blue Line Trail. And we realize there's a lot of extra houses that aren't mentioned that we're just going to kind of showcase in addition to the ones that are on the Blue Line Trail. So you'll see that in the app first. The map will get brought up to date, and then you'll see an official website page for the new Blue Line Trail. Other than that, Polar Express season is getting started. Silver and Snowflakes is coming up, and in December you got the holiday pub crawl for Holiday with the Hero. So those are kind of the next big events for the holiday season coming up that we're looking forward to. And I'll have some analytics for you next time, Jesse, I promise.
I would like to add, and I'm sure most of you had a chance to drive down Carson Street. We were able to do an overnight splash with the installation of the Faces of Carson City banners. I think they look absolutely amazing. I love driving down, and every time I see them, and it does exactly what we had hoped. It makes you smile. It adds a splash of color, and certainly has the impact that we were hoping for. The next phase, I've got 70 more banners, or 70 more brackets for banners coming in. We will be installing those over the course of the next couple weeks on Curry Street, and then I'll go back to the Cultural Commission again and talk about the installation on Fairview. They were one of the cooperative partners in this, along with DBA for Curry and Carson Street. So absolutely a fantastic partnership. I think the impact is impressive. In addition, a couple of the things that we were moving forward on, the kiosks. I've been able to work now with Carson City IT department with Eric Von Schimmelman. Eric is doing the research on the implementation of the kiosks. It looks like within the budget that we're going to allocate, we'll more than likely look at, 3 different kiosks that we'll put strategically placed somewhere within Carson City. It is going to, the reason why IT, they have to have connectivity. We're looking at being able to do ticket sales. We're going to have the personalized itinerary, and I believe that Carson City will be able to utilize those kiosks for community information also. So really look forward to getting information on that, and I'll do a full presentation and more than likely bring Eric back in with me when we talk about it. But that is moving forward. That's something that I had said we'll have done before June of next year, and I certainly want to fast track that. Other than that, everything else on that checklist, and I think next month we'll start including in the executive director's report a timeline of all of the projects that we're currently working on. So that will come back next month also, including the audit. So there was a request to have the city back in regard to sports tournaments and the forecast budget in December, but I'm going to go ahead and hold off on that one and wait until we can really nail down the intended intent of the interlocal agreement and the wording behind it, so that everyone's comfortable when they come back into the meeting setting. So I'll make sure I take care of that over the course of the next month, and more than likely then that'll happen, early in the year. Okay. And if there's nothing else on it, the next meeting is scheduled for December 14th.
Does that work for everybody? Okay. All right. Thank you, everyone. Public comment? Anybody have anything to say? All right. Any other board comments or announcements? All right. Well, for possible action to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Meeting's adjourned. Thank you, everyone.